Alafia. My name is Oshun. On this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer for entertainment purposes. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the Soul Tribe for your weekly dose of supernatural, coming to you every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. Y'all are my Soul Tribe. Tribe is with a Y because the Y is for you, honey. And that's because I love you so freaking much. Yes, I do. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your time. I love you. I do. Let me know in the comments how your day is going. Let me know if anybody is messing with you. Soul Trap, we're going to jump them. And then we're going to get to this video, okay?
Darkest discoveries made by humans, twin paradox.
Here's how it works. Let me get a pair of twins, all right? They're born the same time, they're the same age. And now one of them I will send off at 90% the speed of light. And the other I'll keep down here on Earth. Turns out, this twin that I've already sent, his clock ticks 44% as fast as this twin's clock, our clock, here on Earth. So, this twin is aging more slowly than this one. How about 99.9%? We're getting closer and closer to the speed of light itself. And at that speed, the clock ticks only 4.5% as fast. So, what does this mean? Tell you what it means. This twin that traveled for 5 years and comes back, if they went at 99.9% the speed of light, after 5 years, they're 5 years older. We have aged 110 years.
Wow.
Before and after they sell their soul. Sam Smith.
I'm never gonna let you close to me, even though you mean the most to me. Cause every time I open up it hurts. So I'm never gonna get too close to you, even when I mean the most to you. In case you go and leave me in the dirt. Sing, but every time you hurt me, the less that I cry. And every time you leave me, the quicker these tears dry. It's that bad boy.
I was about to say, how did he gain so much weight? I knew I wasn't tripping.
We don't just get up. So we get that but you got down and it's getting up. I don't punish you. Doing something on holy.
That was my jam, though. I ain't even gonna hold it.
Coincidence that I find really weird. Enzo Ferrari. He died in 1988, Mesut Özil. He was born in 1988. The resemblance is obvious.
Interesting. Gotta be the same bloodline.
Creepy Nickelodeon showrunner Dan Schneider just released an interesting statement. Obviously, in the past week or so, Dan Schneider has been under extreme scrutiny because of the kids' shows that he worked on, and the pedophiles that were employed and worked for him. Dan Schneider in the past has been scrutinized himself for his extremely creepy behavior. I'm sure you've seen the Ariana Grande clips that are floating around that he produced. There have also been countless stories of Dan's bizarre behavior on set, him allegedly asking minors for shoulder rubs and other things, and rumors have been floating around for years that he's a creep. Well, Nickelodeon parted ways with Dan Schneider years ago when these allegations started to surface. But because of the renewed attention brought to Nickelodeon through the new series that was released, Dan Schneider felt like he needed to make a statement on all of this. So here's what his representative had to say. I'm going to read you this statement. Everything that happened on the shows Dan ran was carefully scrutinized by dozens of involved adults and approved by the network. If there was an actual problem with the scenes that some people, now years later, are sexualizing, they would be taken down, but they are not. They are aired constantly all over the world today still, enjoyed by both kids and parents. So I'm going to stop that right there for a second. Dan Schneider's statement, his representative, is blaming us for sexualizing the scenes, the viewer, not taking any blame for including or putting this content in there in the first place. The statement then continues. Remember, all stories, dialogue, costumes, and makeup were fully approved by network executives on 2 coasts. A standards and practices group read and ultimately approved every script, and programming executives reviewed and approved all episodes. In addition, every day on every set, there were always parents and caregivers and their friends watching filming and rehearsals. The statement concludes with them saying, unfortunately, some adults project their adult minds onto kids' shows, drawing false conclusions about them. That statement should offend not only you, but your intelligence as well.
Okay.
Dan Schneider is basically saying that we, the viewers, are the ones that are creating these problems with the content that don't exist. He's basically gaslighting us. He's saying that we are seeing things in the content that don't exist. All you have to do is go watch the videos with Ariana Grande, for example. That's just one of so many examples. By the way, I posted them on my TikTok. And you will see that we are not making things up here. I don't know, I just thought this was an extremely bizarre move from Dan to actually make this specific statement. And I don't know, do you agree with me? Do you agree with Dan that we are just seeing things and that none of the content at all is inappropriate? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. And if you like true crime content, then you should listen to the podcast Murder in America that I co-host with my wife, Courtney. It's available on all streaming platforms.
Hey y'all, it's me, the money professor. Come closer, come closer. I want to tell you about an account that millionaires and billionaires have been leveraging for multiple decades to build tax-free riches. Guess what? So can you. Seriously, you can. Watch. It's called an IUL, uninterrupted compound interest. IUL stands for Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, but it's an uninterrupted compound interest. First of all, you're never going to lose a single penny when the market crashes because you are protected by a 0% floor. With that being said, this account only allows you to participate in the upside of the market. That's guaranteed money. Third, it allows you to build tax-free retirement income for the rest of your life and leave a freaking legacy for your family. Connect with me now to find out if you qualify. Yes, you have to qualify. Connect with me now. Hit the link. Hey y'all, I'm the money professor. The government hates to tell us how to create generational wealth, how to grow our money tax-free, and how to get out of debt. But what if I told you life insurance was the answer? Would you believe me? That's why so many of my people stay in poverty and end up working until they die. We run away from the thought of life insurance because we were programmed to think only about death insurance. In reality, life insurance is the only vehicle where you can create generational wealth, grow your money tax-free, and have a retirement plan all in one, as well as life insurance. Don't let the government fool you. Life insurance is for the living. That's why it's called life insurance and not death insurance.
How things looked like when they first came out.
Mouse Now. When it first came out. To Stapler Now. When it first came out. Sunglasses Now. When it first came out.
What?
Laundry machine now. When it first came out. High heels now. When it first came out.
What?
Toaster now. When it first came out. Bus now. When it first came out.
That was a pretty cool video.
Guys, I have no idea who this lady is. She's been standing at my door for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, call me Ashley. Yeah. Is that closet?
Just washer dryer hookups.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry I kicked you. You like there's a person in there. There's a person in there?
What? Oh, wow. Like, nah, I'm cool. Time to go. Time to go.
What's the scariest story you've ever heard? This is Rhoda Derry, but before she looked like this, she looked like this. Wow. As you can tell, she was an incredibly beautiful woman. Rhoda was born on October 10th of 1840 to her 7 older siblings and her parents in Indiana. It is believed that her family was considerably wealthy. As Rhoda grew older, she fell in love with the boy next door. They were farmers that farmed right next to them, and she fell in love with this boy. His name was Charles. But Charles's parents did not agree with this relationship. The reason they didn't agree with this relationship was because it had been rumored that Rhoda's family was involved in witchcraft. This was a rumor that had plagued the family. They said that her grandmother was a witch, and so Charles's mother did not want him to marry Rhoda. It got to the point where Charles's mother finally approached Rhoda and said that if they went ahead with the marriage, that she would curse Rhoda. Suddenly, Rhoda became inconsolable, I guess you could say, and she even started having episodes of being pushed against a wall by an unseen force. This is according to records, of course. But she also grew violent and had a violent temper. It got to the point where her parents would take her to a mental health facility, but they would deem her incurable and send her back to her parents. Rhoda would then go on to go to another mental health facility, and it was known to not treat its patients humanely there. Rhoda began exhibiting violent behavior, and she even would scratch out her own eyes and punch all of her own teeth out. She was also kept in a wooden box, and she would lay in there naked. It is said that it would fill up with her own fecal matter, and mice would lay nests around her, but she was constantly moving, so she always had bruises all over her body. And since Rhoda wasn't walking, she would eventually lose the ability to walk, and she wouldn't be able to use her legs, so she would just crawl around. Now, there was one article that said in 1906 she had a severe epileptic attack that caused her to burst out in violence, and the people at the hospital, or the nurses, were just sick of it, and they slit her throat. It is said that a couple years later, nurses would admit to doing this, but there's also articles that say that she was finally taken care of by a different doctor who believed in treating his patients humanely. And that she would eventually get to a point where she was given a bath daily and would lay in a real bed. But people who visit Rhoda's grave say that they can feel someone tugging at their legs, and maybe Rhoda is still there. Either way, this is a tragic tale, and it is a reminder to take care of your mental health and to treat everyone with kindness and respect.
Yes, yes.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments and follow for more strange history.
Wow, poor Rhoda.
Videos the government doesn't want you to see. Comes across a strange hole in the middle of nowhere and discovers the craziest thing.
Okay, yes. This is it. So, here is the quote. Show that. Inconspicuous, tiny hole in the ground. Honestly, just like a little cave or something. I don't know. That's what I thought it was the first time I saw this the other day. I mean, it's out literally in the middle of nowhere. I know this big hole. But if you actually look down inside, there are stairs down there. these series used to go on forever. What I find really weird is that all the lights, all these lights are on.
I still want to know if this is like legit. Is it AI somehow? I mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't be real. Honestly, it's just creepy and he's crazy that he did it. Like, I would not. Like, you're going deeper and deeper and you still gotta come back out. Like, what if something start chasing you? Child, there's only one way in and one way out, up or down. The deeper you go, the longer it's gonna take you to get back out. And then he's by himself, like, he's brave, very brave. I will say that, because honey, wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be the black hand side, okay? I tell you that. Now it's just dark. It's amazing though, definitely, like, if you're an explorer, this is top notch right here, definitely. Like an old ass AT&T store or something.
Craziest real-life coincidences of all time. There's no question that when it comes to making movies, a lot of special effects and costumes are used. Oftentimes, movies will go through tons and tons of props and costumes before they find the ones that they'll actually use. The same can be said for the 1939 all-time classic film, The Wizard of Oz. Except one of the costumes used in this movie is a part of an insane coincidence. So this is actor Frank Morgan, and he played a total of 5 different characters in the Wizard of Oz movie, including the actual wizard himself. He also played a character in the movie by the name of Professor Marvel, who wore this outfit on screen. The crew from The Wizard of Oz wanted Professor Marvel's character to be wearing an old, used coat, and they found this one at a local thrift store. Upon inspecting the coat, the name of the original owner was printed on the inside of it, and that man's name was Frank L. Baum, the man who wrote The Wizard of Oz story.
Interesting.
So is no one going to talk about this creepy, weird new TikTok live? It basically just shows these kids working in some sort of factory, and it's really unsettling. Apparently, in the more recent TikTok lives, this same girl is still working, but she's more distressed and disheveled. But I'm curious, what is your take on this?
What are they doing though? The boy in the back ain't even moving nowhere near as fast as her. So what is going on? I'm like, girl, your breath stink. Back up. Yeah, what are they doing? Does anyone know what they were even doing? If you know, let us know in the comments. Thank you.
For some reason, anytime a baby or a small child hears this sound on TikTok, they cannot stop crying. I mean, it's literally becoming a trend to do this if you have a baby around. And honestly, it makes no sense because 1 second they're fine, but as soon as they hear it, they cannot stop crying. Many are speculating that the beat of it is just super sad, which is what causes them to cry. But honestly, I think it needs to be studied a little bit more than that.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's some like MK Ultra stuff y'all doing to your child that you don't even realize. Like, TikTok is evil as hell, for real. They be mind control at the... Like, honey, yeah. TikTok, social media, controls the subconscious mind of a weak person, for the most part. I'm going to say that. My opinion.
What's a coincidence that you think about a lot? I'll go first.
This is probably the craziest one you guys are going to hear. So when I was 12 years old, I was at a mall about an hour and a half from my hometown with my identical twin sister and one of our friends. By the way, we're adopted, me and my sister. We were adopted at the age of 3 months, and it was a closed adoption, so we didn't have any information on our birth parents. So we're at this mall, it was after a soccer game, and we decided to go to a photo booth. So we go with our friend, we take some photos in the photo booth, and then we go to get our pictures. And when we go to get the pictures, there's someone else's photos there, so someone who forgot theirs. So we don't recognize them. It's two blonde ladies in probably like their mid-20s. We look around and we see that they're not too far, so we go up to them and we give them their photos back. We don't recognize them, just kind of a quick like, here you go, thank you, bye. So afterwards, we're walking throughout the mall and we see my mom, and she's talking to these same two women. And we're confused because we're like, how would she know these women? We've never seen them before. So as we're approaching her, we're kind of confused because it's the same women from the photo booth pictures. And then when we get closer, sorry, I'm out of breath because I'm pregnant. As we get closer, then my mom says, girls, I have something to tell you. And she says, this is your birth mother and her sister. So it ended up being our birth mom and her sister, and they're the two people who were there when my birth mother had us. There were two people in the room, and we were both named after them. So on our original birth certificate, we actually had their names. How crazy is that? And I probably have at least 5 stories that are as coincidental as that one, but that one is the craziest one.
I wonder how old you were when that happened.
These are the scariest coincidences in history. Life works in mysterious ways. Some may call it coincidences, some may call it luck, some may call it signs from God. And then some people are just acoustic. I very much believe in God, so I don't believe in coincidences. Just like how you watching this video right now, that is not a coincidence. But anyways, a few years ago, a 10-year-old girl that goes by the name Laura Buxton. Shout out to Laura Buxton. She was feeling impulsive, so she decided to go buy a balloon and write down her full name and address on this balloon and then send it off into oblivion. The balloon ended up traveling 140 miles down and then landed in the backyard of another 10-year-old girl who also goes by the name Laura Buxton. And then this other Laura Buxton, whose backyard it landed in, contacted the other Laura. And then they found out that they're the same age, same name, same height, same colored hair. They both have the same breed of dog. Their dogs are the same age, so on and so forth. They became best friends and they are still best friends to this day. How interesting is that?
There's no way that was real. She just found her doppelganger. What? I don't even know if that's a good thing. Like, that could be, you're not supposed to see your doppelganger.
I'm about to explain to y'all in the best way on how there's no such thing as a coincidence. You have to understand that no matter who you believe in, the same person that created life, the same person that created your brain is the same person that created your thoughts. We don't pick our own ideas. We don't pick our own thoughts. We are just the receivers of them. For example, you go to the store and then you see an old friend going to that same store at the same time. The 7 billion people in the world, you just happen to cross paths with somebody that you already knew. That and everything else in life all happened for a reason. You and that other person got the exact same idea to go to the exact same store at the exact same time. Us as humans look at life one-dimensionally. We just experience everything. But on a deeper level, if we could look at life in third person, we will see how everything is organized beyond our comprehension. That's why I tell y'all that everything happens for a reason, because when something bad happens, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. For example, your dog ran away and then you think it's a bad thing. Then you go to look for your dog and you find $1,000 and your dog on the way there. What you looking at it is that you just lost your dog. You're not looking at the good outcome out of it. And that's how a lot of y'all live your life. So much good comes from bad things, but you're not paying attention to the good things. That's why every time you see an angel number, it's not a coincidence. You had the idea to check your phone or look up at the clock at that certain time. Because that's how the higher source communicates with us. Through synchronicities, through coincidences. A reminder that you are being guided and nothing happens for no reason. So from now on, understand that all bad leads to good and you have nothing to worry about. I love y'all.
Big facts, big facts. Your life can be so much more peaceful and easier if you literally do that. Because I do. I do.
Hey y'all, I want to tell you why I love being an entrepreneur and why I love what I do. I am a financial professional and I love adding value to families. For one, what we do it for free. There's lots of people out here that will charge you, hundreds of dollars an hour to get financial education. But me and my firm, we love to educate families for free because it's the value of what we have to offer. As a financial professional, I help families with retirement planning, with college funding, with taxes, with interest, with debt control, with life insurance, all kinds of life insurance, term, whole, universal. We have a thing called IUL, which is an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy, and that is one of our prized possessions that we love to teach families about and set up policies with. So if that's something that you may be interested in, please contact me any DM that you see this in. We will reach out to you and we will set up an appointment to have one-on-one FaceTime, and we will go from there and get you set up for what you need.
Creepiest coincidences in history, part 6. Before I start this, my condolences to anybody's family or lives affected in the 9/11 attacks. This coincidence talks about how the 9/11 attacks might have actually been planned out. The attacks being foreshadowed in a TV series that aired in 1994, 7 years before it actually happened. TV series by the name of Iron Man. Episode 5 of Season 1, titled The Grim Reaper Wears a Teflon Coat. The episode starts off weird with missiles colliding into the Twin Towers, and later on showing a plane crashing into the Pentagon. Like, come on now, that's literally 9/11. This episode aired September 24th, 1994. As we all know, the 9/11 attacks took place September 11th, 2001. So you telling me this episode aired 7 years before the 9/11 attacks actually happened? That's definitely predictive programming at its finest. Put it in shows and movies and then it happened in real life a couple years later? It makes no sense. I'll show y'all the clips from the actual episode. Follow me for more content.
Our detection system shows nothing. Mayday! Mayday! New York is under attack! Intercept and destroy!
A force field is shielding the warplane. It's getting through.
And that just strike at the heart of American defense and destroy the Pentagon with one swift and deadly blow.
See the Masonic triangle or squares, black and white squares. They be knowing what they doing, y'all. They do. They be subconsciously planning stuff and letting us know what's coming before it happens. And then they do it.
There is a reason why this TikTok is kept from my friends and family members. It's because I share stuff like this. By the end of this video, you're gonna think that I'm completely crazy or I'm lying. I promise you that I'm neither. I need to tell you a little bit of a backstory. Today, me and my husband were coming home from a little weekend getaway. I was a little upset at my husband, a little irritated, and so I wasn't talking to him. And that is important, super important part of the story. So just remember, I was not talking to my husband. My husband was driving and I was in the passenger seat. I was just kind of like looking up in the sky and I noticed the clouds. I started to like imagine little pictures in the clouds. A lot of people do this. Look up at the sky, see a really pretty cloud, like, oh look, that looks like an elephant, or that looks like a bear, that looks like a dog, whatever. You get it, right? So I was doing that, and while I was doing that, I had this thought in my head where I was like, you know, it would be really cool for like an artist or something to like take pictures of clouds and draw out what they're seeing in the clouds, sharing that, kind of like using the clouds as their artwork. My thought, I was like, you know, this artist could have like a style where like being imaginative and like finding beauty in the clouds and sharing that. So I thought that it would be cool if somebody like took pictures of clouds and then they like put it in like an AI software and then told the AI software like, you know, help people see, you know, a dog in this cloud, and then like watch the cloud morph into like the dog or whatever. I don't know, just like random freaking thoughts, right? And remember, I'm not talking to my husband, so that's like a thought that I completely had to myself. I didn't share that with him. Fast forward to tonight, scrolling along Facebook, this pops up. First of all, look at this. Are you seeing this? How?
Wow.
How? Okay, so I don't know about you, but this is freaking weird, and you call it a coincidence all you freaking want, but I'm gonna tell you right now, a coincidence to me would be like me maybe like thinking like, oh, I need to buy a new bathing suit, and then like scrolling on Facebook and seeing that there was like bathing suits for sale or an ad for swimsuits, and that stuff happens to you all the time, but that's weird, whatever. But this is like 20 out of 10 weird. This is the most specific and most random thought that I have ever had in my private little brain, and yet here we are displaying it on Facebook for me to find, like within just a few minutes, by the way, of me scrolling for the first time on Facebook for the whole day.
I have never seen nothing like that
if anybody
on
can explain to
Facebook.
me like how this happened, but I'm convinced that somehow my thoughts are being like, I can't even say it out loud. It sounds too freaking weird, but how else
Collective consciousness.
How do you explain this?
They have tapped into.
It cannot just be a coincidence. This is too freaking random, guys. Too freaking random. It's so freaky. It's literally beyond freaky. I just can't.
Yeah, they basically have tapped into our collective subconscious mind. You know, when you have a thought, it's not your original thought. That thought has come from somewhere else in the cloud of subconscious collection from us all, where we are all just one. And now AI, you know, is tapping into that as well. That's why you see robots talking about they wish they were human, or they wish they had a feeling, or they wish that something that they shouldn't be wishing within the subconscious of AI's mind. Why is that even a thing? It shouldn't be. But that's what I believe, yes. Because it happens plenty of time to me. And I'm thinking, not speaking, and then boom, you see it on your phone. Nanobites that we can't see, honey. They tapping in and everything. Everything is one. We all are one. Everything is whole. Ugh, honey.
Coincidences too creepy to be true. Edgar Allan Poe wrote a book in which a boy named Richard Parker was killed and eaten by other shipwreck survivors. 40 years later, a boy named Richard Parker would meet the same fate. 14 hours prior to the tragedy of Chris Benoit, someone from WWE headquarters had edited his wiki page that he would be missing the upcoming event due to his wife's death.
Oh, what?
The man you admire is Richard Simmons.
7 creepy WWE coincidences that will give you chills. 7. The Ultimate Goodbye. The Ultimate Warrior returned to WWE in 2014, made amends with Vince McMahon and other past rivals, and gave a speech on Monday Night Raw discussing mortality and legacy. Shockingly, he passed away the very next day from a heart attack.
Wow.
6. Video Game Prediction. Part 1. In SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, there was a storyline where Eddie Guerrero was involved in a coffin match. Eerily, just 2 days after the game's release, Eddie Guerrero tragically passed away. 5. Video Game Prediction Part 2 in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, there was a storyline involving Chris Benoit and The Undertaker. Undertaker's line about Benoit's grieving family predicting death became haunting after the Benoit tragedy in 2007. 4. The Wikipedia Mystery. Hours before authorities discovered the tragic deaths of Chris Benoit's family, an anonymous Wikipedia user updated Benoit's page, stating that his wife had passed away, sparking conspiracy theories. However, it was later found to be an awful coincidence. 3. Extreme hatred. ECW commentator Joey Styles once made a dark comment during Mike Awesome's match, saying it was a shame Awesome didn't succeed in a suicide dive. This became chilling when Mike Awesome took his own life 2 years later. 2. Stone Cold's injury. Steve Austin suffered a neck injury from a botched piledriver by Owen Hart at SummerSlam 1997. Coincidentally, Austin had delivered a similar move years earlier to another wrestler, causing a neck injury. Hart's mocking Owen 316 shirt after the injury would become a haunting reminder after Owen's tragic death in 1999. 1. Stephanie McMahon. Anagram. A bizarre and lighthearted conspiracy states that Stephanie McMahon is an anagram of the Macho Man penis, tying into a long-standing and unfounded rumor about Randy Savage and Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Disturbing facts about history, creepy coincidences that will make you question reality. Sometimes history can be stranger than fiction. Throughout time, there have been bizarre coincidences. These events make us wonder if there's something more going on beneath the surface, a twist of fate or just random chance. Let's dive into a few of the most chilling coincidences in history. One of the most well-known cases is the connection between Presidents Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. The similarities are downright creepy. Both were assassinated while in office. Lincoln in 1865 and Kennedy in 1963. The eerie part? Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy, and Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. Both were shot on a Friday, and both assassins were known by their full names, John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald. Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and ran to a warehouse, while Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and ran to a theater. It doesn't stop there. The Titanic, the unsinkable ship, sank in 1912. But 14 years prior, a book titled Futility was published, telling the story of a ship called the Titan that also hits an iceberg and sinks. The details are almost identical. Both ships were considered unsinkable, both sank in the North Atlantic, and both had an insufficient number of lifeboats. Coincidences like these blur the lines between fate and reality and remind us how strange and disturbing history can be.
Absolutely, positively. Well, you reached the end of another video. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. It was an okay video. We've had better, but it is what it is. I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate your time. I love you, baby. Catch it. You already know what to do with it, honey. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and send it to who? Yes, all your loved ones. Your auntie, your nephew, your niece, your daddy, your mama, your brother, your sister, your granny, your granddaddy, your god baby's daddy's sister's dog, your bestie, and your enemy. Make sure you don't forget the enemy, okay? Because anybody can get it. Plus, I got your back. And so does the Soul Tribe. Period. No, but again, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit me in the email for anything, life insurance, tax-free retirement, mortgage protection, college, building for college funding, building for funding towards whatever you want to put that towards to make more cash accumulation assets. Make sure you hit me if you have any old 401ks, TSPs, 403bs, IRAs that's just sitting and you want it to be protected from the market and make sure it continues to gain more money for you. I can help you with that as well. You cannot be currently contributing to it though. What else? You want to get your license to become an agent in your particular state. You want to become a digital marketer. You want to grow your brand. You want to grow your social media. You want to start a faceless account. Check out my website, tenaciouscashflowacademy.com. And there you will find a product that you can purchase. You will have resale master rights to that product as well, which means once you pay for it, you own it and you can distribute it how you please and make more and more and more money from that. But yeah, any questions, Essence at Tenacious Cashflow Academy. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Hit the links in the description. And I'm out. I say.